Thank you for joining us today on Beacon Ballers. I am Jack Hutter, the sports director at WVUR, here alongside Eli Conklin, who is my assistant sports director at WVUR. And we're going to recap some of this weekend and last week's Valpo sports here on VUTV. Eli, started men's basketball. They beat Bradley last Wednesday. I think that was 97-92. That was a great game. 79-72. That was a great game.
Yeah, it was a great game, and it's a game that Valpo really wanted to win. They have had a lot of struggle against Bradley. They had lost 10 consecutive games against the Braves before that, but finally able to pull one out in a very important time of the year where they are in the stretch run getting ready for Arch Madness, the MVC Conference Tournament, and able to get a really big win at home against an opponent with a lot of history against Valpo, who beat Valpo in the semifinals last year, and against a coach who has plenty of history against Valpo as well, with Brian Wardle, formerly the coach at Green Bay, plenty of rivalries with Valpo in their Horizon League days. So a really good feel-good win. With Bradley, JT Pettigrew, 22 points, 5 rebounds, continuing to strengthen his case for Freshman of the Year, probably one of 2 candidates, along with Roman Damon of Murray State. It should be one of those 2 for MVC Freshman of the Year. And Rakim Cheney, another talented freshman, just about a lock for the MVC all-freshman team, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. A really good team effort and a really good feel-good win.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge win. This has been a team that earlier this season struggled to get wins in close games. They lost a couple Valley games, Belmont, Murray State. They're kind of in these close games, competitive, but weren't able to get the win. And now recently, they've had success winning the close games. Not sure what's hit the flip or the switch there for the Beacons, but it's been fun to see. And that brings me to another close game that the basketball team had at UIC on Saturday. They had 5 scores in double digits in the 71-67 win over UIC, and it was just a really good game. A lot to talk about. 13-5 for Sadir Servilis, who has really come onto the scene now for Valpo in these past couple of games. A freshman, talented freshman who hope they can retain going into the next couple of seasons. And the big play of that game was the Isaiah Barnes dunk, 48-45 in the second half there, and and that was an insane dunk. Had one earlier in the game on a breakaway, had one that he wanted to slam down as well, and finally got that. Roger Powell talked about him after the game, Eli, and he said that him and Sadir Servilis, Isaiah Barnes had a tough season, battled a hamstring injury for a lot of the season so far, and then Sadir Servilis, I don't know, did you listen to that halftime or the post?
I did, yeah. It was quite a nice interview with Powell. He really believes in his team. I mean, you talk about just him developing these players. Isaiah Barnes, a guy who has been in college basketball for 4 years, 2 years at Michigan, 2 years at Tulsa, coming into Valpo, perhaps not having the season that he dreamed of, but a big moment there in his homecoming to Chicago. He's a Chicago kid, big moment, getting the and one big highlight dunk. I don't know how that was only number 4 on SportsCenter, but that was just quite a moment. Powell calls it maybe the best dunk that he's ever seen live in a game. And so a really good moment for him. Valpo needs him to be a contributor down the stretch if they want to make some noise in Arch Madness, just have some good bench experience there from Isaiah Barnes, as well as Powell says, his strength in numbers. That's his little quote of the season. 11 players in the rotation right now. They've just continued to go deep on their bench and get contributions from all of them.
And and now we're at the end of the season. 2 games left. Comes down to Arch Madness and the seeding. This season, if you are Valpo, you want the 5 or above. That gets you at least the first round bye. You probably want the 6 so that you can play Evansville, who has really not looked good at all this season so far. But yeah, how important do you think is getting that first round bye?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Evansville. They have had a very bad season, of course, but no easy games in the Missouri Valley. And so you want that first round bye. Only one team has ever made it to the Arch Madness championship after playing on day 1. That was Valpo in 2020, where they lost to Bradley. But you really need to get that top 5 bye. And they've got plenty of chances to get there. 2 more games left. They play Drake at home on Wednesday, Evansville on the road on Saturday. And if you win both, there's about a 50-50 chance that you would be able to get that bye. With Illinois State and Northern Iowa, you're currently tied with them. they're playing each other, so that will help. You just need to pass both. UIC is also in fourth. You could try to get above them. At least two of those three teams you need to pass in order to get one of those 5 bye spots. But certainly a good chance for Valpo to do that and prove some haters wrong after they've continued to be picked at the bottom of the valley, and potentially getting a first-round bye. That would be a huge statement about the team and where we're headed.
Yeah, and then moving on to some women's basketball. Has been a tough season for them so far. They were in a game against Drake, really close. They were winning at halftime. I think they were up 12 at halftime, something like that. And they just were not able to get it done. Lost 79-68. Just a tough game overall for them.
Yeah, they had a 15-point lead in the third. They had a 7-point lead after Cam Winch made a nice little floater with 5:22 left. They fall to 0-27, and it's a team that doesn't look like they're 0-27. You look at their bench, you see them in practice. They have the motivation to win a game, but they just haven't been able to get it in the win column. They had a really good performance against Drake. They played a very good game against Drake at the first time that they met at the Arc, but then they go to Des Moines. Fiona Conley, 20 points. Milana Nenadic, 14 points, 7 rebounds. She's really come on well the last month of the season. She had 34 against Illinois State, who they play this Saturday. KK Sullivan had 11 points, 6 rebounds in one of her best games. All the starters were fantastic in that game. Alia von Schlegel, 12 points. Michaela Huffine, 4 points, 2 rebounds, but 6 assists. That was the big thing for the transfer from Quincy, along with Courtney Boyd. And so you just hope that you would be able to get one win before the end of the season. Certainly a chance in the first round of the MVC tournament. They will likely play either Drake or UIC. They have kept UIC to decently low point totals, good defense against the Flames, and Drake they've now been close with twice, so perhaps a win is still on the horizon for the Beacons.
And baseball and softball, they are underway now as a little bit too cold yet to play here in Valpo, but they've played some games recently. Valpo baseball has the record now at 4-3 this weekend. Had a successful weekend. Did lose against Wofford, 15-9, but then followed up with a win, 10-5 against USC Upstate, and another win, 21-9, where the Bats just couldn't be stopped at Presbyterian. That was a good series this weekend for them to get 2 wins on the board.
Yeah, a little trip down to South Carolina for the Beacons, getting 2 wins as they're approaching that 500 record now, as they're 3-4 after just picking up 10 wins last season. It's a very redone lineup from last season. A lot of transfers in, but also a lot of freshmen, and so that is a big look for Brian Schmack and his team as they look to retool. They still have a good number of pitching options. Connor Lockwood, of course, the ace of this team, had a good outing over the weekend against USC Upstate, but he is the ace of that rotation. But you got Nick Baffa coming back for his second year. He had some bright spots last year in his freshman year and is trying to develop that team. Definitely some bright spots, and they scored 40 runs in 3 games. Like, that is a good sign for a team that last season struggled at times to put runs on the board.
You tend to put have a lot of success when you can score 40
Absolutely.
runs. So, it's good for them. Softball this past weekend, all of their games were in Las Vegas. They are in a tournament. Their Thursday losses versus Utah Valley and UNLV. Friday, they split, beating Merrimack, losing to Idaho State. And then Saturday, they won versus Utah Valley. I guess they got their revenge there from that Thursday loss. And then Sunday lost versus Idaho State. Record is now 6-7, so decent spot to be in as they keep going in this non-conference play.
Yeah, head coach Mike Armitage, this is his second year. He had a really good first year, just considered where Valpo softball has been the last few years, putting up 20 wins in year 1. Looking for another step in year 2, and certainly at least a contender to make some noise in Valley play. Definitely some good pieces. Sydney McDermott is now 5-2 on the season. She's an excellent pitcher, and she will really staff that rotation well, as softball just a couple weeks away from starting Valley play the first weekend of March.
Yeah, and then talked about this. It was a successful Saturday. 4-win Saturday for Valpo. Tennis beat St. Thomas 4-3. The men's basketball team got the win on Saturday. The baseball team got the win on Saturday, and then another win for softball on Saturday. Just a very successful weekend here for Valpo athletics.
Yeah, and you're looking for some momentum as we look forward into the end of this perhaps first half of the semester and getting into spring sports. We're going to talk to Valpo baseball left-handed pitcher Christian Hackett in a few moments, as we will talk to him about his big shot that came on the basketball court, but as well as the baseball season coming up. But plenty of wins in store for the Beacons. I mean, tennis, they're now 9-3. They have a really retooled roster after a lot of injuries last year. They've really restocked, and a team that is on the rise, and just a bunch of programs for Valpo that are getting wins at a higher rate than they have the last few years. Certainly some momentum. Of course, we talk about those basketball conference tournaments coming up, but getting into the bulk of baseball, softball, and those spring seasons, there's a lot to look forward to in Valpo athletics.
For sure.
And as we will be back in about a minute as we talk to Christian Hack. Very excited to welcome him on to the show and get his perspective on both baseball and some basketball.
Stand by on red, 1, bank number 1.
We're not recording on red, are we?
No.
Okay.
What are your name? Element 7. And load. Element 7 loaded in red.
Thank you.
Dude. Oh,
Hit
boy.
it.
Get
Make
it.
6 grand.
He's got time. He's
Give
got
me a few.
time.
He's getting everyone hyped. He's
go.
getting everyone hyped. He's going to not shoot in time.
All right, everybody follow this.
Oh,
my God.
Oh, my God.
Okay, put this together. Put this together.
Oh, my God.
Put this together.
They got the
court. They got you off the court. What is happening?
Wow.
Just under a minute.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God.
Ready to take 2.
crap.
Stay with him.
We need to roll that after red.
Cole. Take J. Cole. Stay with him, J. Cole. Stand by in red.
All right,
You can just take
We're
that
on.
program.
We're on J. Cole.
Wow. Ready to take 2.
He's been practicing.
30 seconds.
We're going out.
Dude,
We have a pre-recorded element billboard on return, and then we'll do this half quarter.
We'll take Mitchell.
No way,
That was insane. We're coming back.
Try to get his name. Somebody try to get his name.
Thank you, Mitchell.
$6,000. $6,000.
Unmute red.
No, that was for
unmute
10,000. The 6,000
Music
shot is
and
later.
Christian Hack.
8, 7, 6, ready, red. 5, 4,
On red.
3, 2, 1, roll red.
Roll it.
Hold on, talent.
Mike and Q, there you go. Wait.
Music at half.
Is brought to
We're
you by
A then B.
Okay.
A then B.
Chicago
Beautiful.
Medicine.
We'll have it for you.
Proud supporters of Valpo Athletics.
And
Mike and Q.
third A.
Well, what a wild moment at halftime. This is Christian Hack.
Ready for the slowdown on B and
Carl, that was
ready
for
B.
$10,000.
And there
Oh, it was 10. It was $10,000. $10,000.
The 6,000 half-court shot is later.
10,000.
Fade to A.
And a half-court
Great
shot for
job.
10,000,
Ready
and his
4.
baseball teammates mobbed him
And take
at
4.
half-court.
Ready Mitchell. Fade Mitchell. Let me
All right, ready to wipe out one.
1 and burn to 1.
Fantastic, you guys. Seabass, Omkar. Great job out there getting it, you guys. That looked amazing on a return.
I can't believe he made it.
Welcome back to Beacon Ballers here on VUTV, and we're now joined by a very special guest, left-handed pitcher from the Valpo baseball team, Christian Hack. Christian, it's nice to have you on the show.
It's good to be here.
So, Christian, you've been here at Valpo now 5 years. When you think about this baseball season, what are you expecting to get out of the team this year, and what makes you excited for the season ahead?
One thing that we've really been harping on as a team is just being resilient. You know, in the past we haven't had much success here, and honestly, Valpo athletics as a whole has kind of been on the downswing. And we really took inspiration from actually Roger Powell, because he came and talked with our team a little bit, and we're really getting behind the mindset of like we're done being the doormat of the valley, and we're really trying to change the culture around here. So that's been kind of our message this whole year, is just being resilient, fighting, and you know, trying to scrap wins when we can, and so far it's working out.
Yeah, and then you have 9 months in between the end of the season and the start of the next season. What do off seasons look like for you trying to get ready for the seasons ahead?
It's all individual based. A lot of the younger guys will go play summer ball in like small towns from or around the country, and that's for them to just kind of get development and get more playing time. Older guys who have probably played a little more, they'll usually take the summer off. For me personally, I was dealing with an injury last year I had Tommy John surgery on my elbow, so my summer really just looked like a lot of rehab and just getting back to throwing, and so far it's been good.
So now that we're in the season, you've got a couple games under your belt. How do you prepare individually for your outings, and what does a team preparation for a game look like as well?
The team preparation is pretty simple. We'll have meetings before the games. Our coach will talk about the game plan, kind of the scouting report on the other team, and personally, for me, I'm in the bullpen, so my preparation's kind of it's kind of spotty because you don't know when your name's going to get called. And so whenever my name is called, it's really just kind of get ready as fast as you can. So there's not much preparation to have a routine per se in the bullpen, but when your name's called, you just got to be ready.
When you think about that needing to be ready, like how do you stay locked in like that entire time? Like, is it different each game, just depending on the situation of the game that you might be expecting to get in more than others, or is it just the entire time trying to stay ready?
It's really the entire time because I mean we've seen in some games that we've had this year, things can get out of hand pretty quick, and you just gotta be ready at all times. A lot of it's just moving in between innings, taking a jog to the bullpen and back, moving around, stretching, staying loose, and really just got to be mentally ready, which is just focusing on the game, watching the game, not getting too, lackadaisical with your mindset, not worrying about other things, and just staying locked in and ready when you need your name called.
And you got a lot of younger guys and transfers into the team this year. How has that been with someone like you who's been around the program for a while? How do you meet those new teammates, and how do you teach them the Valpo way, perhaps, and then how do you work with them on a team?
It's been actually really easy this year. That was kind of the question for me and Connor Lockwood. He's also a fifth year with me, been here all 5 years, and we kind of were talking about during the summer, like, how do we get this team to be different than the past teams? And it started with just the minute we were all on campus, just having everyone over to the house and just hanging out and just building that bond from day one, so that when we get into the season now, we know everybody, like everyone's friends, and really that has been a big proponent to our early success here.
And then, of course, we have to ask you about the moment that's made you a Valpo household name this month, making all 4 shots in the Lakeshore Bone and Joint Series shootout to win $10,000. Let's take a look here with the call by Todd Eichow and Brian Jennings.
Well, what a wild moment at halftime. This is Christian Hack, Valpo left-handed pitcher, who fires it off the glass. This is after making a layup, free throw, three-pointer, and a half-court shot for $10,000, and his baseball teammates mobbed him at half court.
I don't think I've ever seen the floor get mobbed during the game.
Just look at the big Valpo left-hander.
That's awesome. As soon as he let it go, I said, it's going. He had great rotation.
And so we've all seen the TV angle there, but take us through the moment and give us the story from your angle.
Yeah, so when I got randomly selected, I was honestly nervous. I was really just focused on not missing the layup because I knew all my teammates were there and they would have clowned me they wouldn't have let me forget that if I missed the layup. So I was really just trying to make the layup, and then after that it was just instincts. I just tried to get up shots as quick as I could, and luckily they fell.
And then do you think, you had the Roger Powell jersey on.
Yeah.
Do you think that helped in any way? I mean,
sure.
It must
yeah.
have,
Yeah, that jersey was from Nick Baffa, one of our teammates, and when I got selected, he told me to put it on and go rep Rogers, so I was all in for it, and definitely some magic in that jersey for sure.
So the shot was partially made possible by how much you and your teammates attend Valpo basketball games, other athletic events. What makes you excited to support your fellow athletes, and then how do you hope for campus to show up for you in your own game?
Yeah, our coach kind of told us that he wants to have us bring back the culture of Valpo athletics. We've seen in the past at basketball games, that's obviously our big ticket sport. In the past, there hasn't been much student support, and so he just told us to make it an effort to show up to these games and show support, because then we'll see it at our games too. And it's just fun. It's fun for everybody when the place is packed and the energy's high, and so we just wanted to be a part of that.
I'm sure everyone's wondering. You're getting your $10,000 big check on Wednesday.
Yes, I am.
What do you plan to do with that $10K?
My instinct is to save it right now. That's probably the smart thing to do. I'll definitely have a little bit of walking around money for sure in case something catches my eye, but as of right now, I'll probably save most of it.
And then a lot of pitchers, they like to golf. Do you like to golf?
I do like to golf,
so
yes.
what are your top 3 courses that you've ever golfed at?
So Forest Park is usually the course that me and my teammates go to just because it's usually the cheapest. And at least I'll speak for myself. I'm not the best golfer in the world. My teammates are pretty good. Some of them are really good. So Forest Park is a good one. That's usually the go-to. Aberdeen is one we like to go to. And then we've also gone to Beechwood a couple times.
I've been to Forest Park. Haven't been to Aberdeen yet.
Aberdeen's pretty good.
Yeah, Aberdeen, it's a nice course.
Yeah. Well, Christian, thank you for sitting down with us. It was a blast. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to let us ask you a few questions. From all of us at VUTV, thank you for joining us this evening for Beacon Ballers, and we'll see you next week.